Good morning. It is 7:45 a.m. in Alamogordo, and we are on our way to White Sands. And fortunately, it seems like Gemma is feeling a little bit better. So, yeah, we're hoping for a nice day of getting a lot of sand in our shoes. So, it looks like the visitor center does not open till 9. Well, shucks. Guess we're just gonna have to go in and see what we can find otherwise. So our plan is to hit up a few trails close to the entrance and then head back to the visitor center a little after it opens so that we can get some real good info before we head deep into the park. This is the start of the Dunes Drive, which is the main and kind of the only road that runs through the park. And it's pretty long, so we'd like to get some more info before we actually follow it to the end. So our first trail is the Playa Trail. This one is very short, and it just heads over to a playa, which is essentially a seasonal lake bed out here on this flat. It turns out that the white dunes are due to gypsum, which was deposited many many millions of years ago by a drying sea, and that over time in the playas here, the gypsum has dissolved various kinds of crystals out of it, and those crystals then dry when the lake dries, get ground apart by the blowing wind, and eventually form the incredible dunes that we're going to see later. So it looks pretty dry right now. You can see sort of a big brown spot in the middle where there's water right under the surface. But it turns out that this whole area has water just a few inches to feet below it, and that it's actually very good at retaining it. And these playas form simply because rain further away in the mountains, that you can almost kind of see off in the haze, will then rush down into this valley, raise the water table, and fill in the playas. So it's sort of a giant, it's like a giant sponge. Not only were there, mammoths and saber-toothed tigers and things around here, but apparently they found footprints dated to 23,000 years old from people, which basically prove that folks were here pre-Clovis. It's one of the most conclusive pieces of evidence we have for that. Now, I want to find those footprints. So, I don't know where they are. I'm going to talk to a ranger. It's possible that they're buried or they're not in a place I'm allowed to access. But Gemma has offered, if I can't find them, to make some footprints in the gypsum herself. So, why don't you make some gypsum footprints for me, just in case? Right now? Yeah, go for it. It's too crunchy. Well, it was crunchy then. Just go. I don't want my feet on the internet. So next is the Dune Life Nature Trail. I don't know how these little scrubby grasses do it, but they're surviving up here. This crazy white landscape. So if you take your sandals off, the sand, because it's white and it's early morning, it has absorbed almost no sunlight, and it's actually very cool. Like, I feel like I'm walking through, I don't know, I feel like I'm walking through snow almost. Like, I don't think I could put up with this for very long. Could these maybe be those footprints I'm looking for? Perhaps the pre-Clovis people had Skechers. You can even see little people all the way over there, just to give some context for how big this is. There's some more little hikers. And this plant, which seems to insist that it's autumn, even though it is in the middle of the actual desert. Good for you, little plant. You just keep doing your thing. Ooh, its leaves are very waxy. You can tell it's extremely drought resistant. That's cool. Big white tree in the middle of this. Now you can tell that there's water just below the surface, because the moment we get down off the dunes, suddenly there's a lot more plant life. Okay, so we thought that previous tree was cool. Look at this thing. This is a real tree hanging out here in the middle of the desert. It looks like it's the same type as that other one, but man, what a colossus. Look at it. Here, let's get some perspective shots for just a second. Take a look at this. Look at the giant roots just spreading out into the spreading out to the sides, looking for more water. Isn't that incredible?
Better.
Stand up straight.
I'm standing up straight.
It is amazing just how quickly the dunes end and just drop off. Like from up here, you can actually see it, the start of the whole dune field. Surreal. So we're in the visitor center. Apparently you can't go actually find the fossilized footprints because they're in the area that is also a missile range. But yeah, 23,000 years old. We'll see if we can kind of see it from one of the trails later because there's an overlook I'm interested in. Having gotten some good advice from the ranger and seen a nice little video on the history and the geology of the park, we're now heading into the dune field proper. It turns out that partway through, the pavement ends and you end up driving on compacted sand, which is familiar from driving on compacted snow and is no more fun than that was. I feel like I'm driving to the ski hill. This is incredible. This is not snow, it's just pure white sand. Awesome. So we're about to go hiking into the desert, which means it's time to bring back the trusty hat. Trusty hat has a twin. Welcome to the surface of the moon. But with a little grass.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I know it would be a good idea.
Sensors.
Probably more. It looks like a bird, right? Like
yeah. I was gonna say more of the mice, but you're right. You can see the little talons.
Yep. The only animals we've seen thus far have been tracks and a corpse. But, you know, at least something's living out here. Look down in the playa. Look at the patterns on the ground. I wonder if that's caused by wind spinning off of the dunes or if that's caused by people. I don't see enough sign of people going down in here, so I imagine it has to be wind or water. It's incredible. Geoglyphs signed by nature. We have to go down. We have to go down this steep hill. Hold this real quick. I think I found the solution.
Oh no. Watch out! You okay?
Alright, well, that was fun while it lasted. Whoa. So rolling down that hill the first time was fun, but it's going to be a lot more fun with a lot steeper hill. Alright, here we go. Okay, there's a plant. That was a plant. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great.
Woo! I can't even see you. Oh, there you are.
Here I am.
Oh. All right, I cannot wait to see how that comes out on camera. And look, we made it back almost to the parking lot. And in the end, we both ended up in bare feet. Yeah, it's that kind of hike. So the backcountry hike was a lot of fun. Rolling down the hill means that I now have sand everywhere. And what I don't have sand on has been slicked with sunscreen. So between those two things, I am basically a human interior area filth carrier. So I'm gonna have to get home and shower. But first, we have the little denouement of our trip. Woo! Down she comes! I don't know what you can see, GoPro, but we're gonna hope that this captures the essence of the experience. Woohoo! There we go. So that was White Sands National Park. Ironically, the sledding took a bit of a learning curve, but we figured it out at the end. Now we're gonna head home, shower, try and extract the sand which has made its way into my very soul, and then, yeah, see what else Alamogordo has to offer before we head to the Trinity site tomorrow. And returning to Navajo Tacos, and the largest cup of coffee I think I've ever seen. So the Navajo Tacos were good as always. Now it's time to explore the Big Nut. We're at McGinn's Pistachioland, about to have pistachio ice cream, and then tour a pistachio farm. Okay, so far this guy has been the MVP of the experience. He has been singing the same song on repeat the whole time we've been here. Man, oh man. He has quite the voice.
However, our little random
There's the
road
wine
bush up here on the
vines.
right-hand side, believe it or not, there's actually a reason behind her.
And here are the pistachio
Require
trees.
a lot of water, nor do they like a lot of water. They really do love this dry and hot climate.
That thing's called Alexander the Great. It's 50 years old and it is literally the bull pistachio. Little tiny twig over there is a 10-year-old pistachio tree, and it's already started producing pistachios. Alright, well this is not the GoPro, this is my phone. We are just trying to get a good image of this unbelievable sunset over the mountains. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? You know, they always have the meme of how the greatest sunsets show up in the grocery store parking lot, but oh my lord, are they right. So today went by quickly, and we got to do a lot. We saw a wonderful new national park. We got to learn the birds and the bees of pistachios, and we also got to see a beautiful sunset. We ended up going once again to the same, you know, restaurant, like what was it, Lake Home? Lake Holmes? Yeah, Lake Home. As last night, because it was really good. They gave us another wonderful wine flight. It was generally fantastic. And yeah, so I'm glad that we did it. Now, we got to get to bed because tomorrow we wake up bright and early to go see the Trinity site where they set off the first atom bomb in 1945. And I do mean bright and early. We're looking at 4 a.m. So until then, good night.